Hello students, welcome to this video. In today's lesson I will be talking to you about a very common error when you are learning English. That is double negatives. You speak with double negatives. You have to avoid double negatives because it is not correct to use them. I have two examples here written on the board about how double negatives look like. Okay, what double negatives look like. The first one says, that won't do no good. As you can see, I have won't, which is a negative form of will. It means will not. That won't do, and then we have another negative, no good. Okay, that is a very common mistake, but you have to avoid it because it does not sound, it is not correct, grammatically correct to begin with, and it makes you sound little professional. The next one says, that will do no good. That is a correction of the first one. This is the first option you have, and this is the option number 2 to correct this sentence here. You have to avoid double negatives. That won't do no good. Incorrect. That will. Okay, instead of saying won't, you will use the affirmative form of will. That will do. And then you will use no good. Just one negative. And the last one says, that won't do any good. As you can see, we have the negative form of will not, won't, do, and then we use any. Okay, to avoid double negatives, it is also very common to use any. Do not use no because that is a negative. Okay, that won't do any good, or that will not do any good. The next one says, she doesn't want no advice. As you know, doesn't is does not. Okay, it is a negative, does not want no advice. So we have a double negative here. You must never ever use double negatives, remember it. And well, this is correction number 1, or your first choice and your second choice. She wants no advice. Instead of saying doesn't want, we will use the affirmative form, she wants, and then the negative, no advice. And that is grammatically perfect. And the last one says, she doesn't want any advice. Okay? So you just replace no with any, or you change one of the negatives into affirmative form. Okay? Next, I will give you some more practice sentences and examples so that you can practice with me. Now you are going to help me correct the sentences that have double negatives. The first one says, she does not want no education. As you can see, we have a negative, does not, and we have another negative here, no. She does not want no education. So how could you correct that common mistake? You could say, you could just cross this out, this does not exist anymore, and she wants no education. Or you could also say, she doesn't want any. So those are two ways to correct that mistake. Either you take does not away and say she wants no education, or you replace no with any. She doesn't want any. All right? And the last one says, we could not hardly believe our eyes. Okay? Even though it is not that evident, we have two negatives here. Could not and hardly. Hardly is also a negative. We could not hardly believe our eyes. The only way you can correct this is saying We could hardly believe our eyes. All right? So remember, you must avoid, by all means, double negatives, because it looks little professional and, well, people may not understand what you're trying to say. All right? Well, next, I will leave you some homework. Remember that you need to do it in order to improve your English. Homework. Write 4 sentences using double negatives and then correct them. Remember, double negatives are like, I do not have no cigarettes, or she does not want no beer, okay? Or something like that. And you must avoid those negatives. Those double negatives, a very common error, because you know that you want your English to sound correct. Okay? Well, leave your homework in the comment section below this video. And if you have any comment, suggestion, or question, please also leave it there. Thank you so much for watching this video. My name is Faby, and I will see you next time. Would you like to watch my next video? Click on the television to the right. In this class, I will be talking to you about besides and beside. They're tricky prepositions